Eat your dubs, and eat your dubs. That's the third dub in a row, which is always nice to get. But we have got a lot to talk about. We beat a poor team and barely, and it looks like the Houston Texans were also pretty poor. And it also turns out that the Atlanta Falcons are pretty poor. So without further ado, the Buccaneers have beaten three shitty teams at this point. Not two teams that we thought were going to be pretty decent. Time will tell as the season goes by, but at this point in time, the Buccaneers have beaten three shitty teams. We will go on to face the Philadelphia Eagles, who are now also 3-0. So this is an unbeaten, two teams that are unbeaten going up against each other. There's a lot to unpack. So let's talk about this Jets versus Buccaneers game. Buccaneers get to bring back the old school creamsicle. I got my 31-win field here, and they got a win in it, which was great. It was lovely to get, but this game was far from great. It was far from it. It looked like we were cruising, and then it all went wrong. So let's bring it back. First quarter, Nick Folk puts the Jets in for a field goal. They go 3-0. Buccaneers drive down the field in the first quarter, go and get a field goal from Chase McLaughlin. It's a 54 attempt. The attempt is good. It's 3-3. Nick Folk then in the second quarter bangs them up with a 42 field goaler, getting them to 6-3. Then Baker Mayfield a short left catch complete to Mike Evans for a 5-yard touchdown. McLaughlin with the extra point. Buccaneers are 6-10. Chase McLaughlin then bangs over a 33 field goal attempt. It's good. 13-6. Buccaneers. Tyrod Taylor pass intercepted by Jamal Dean, the guy that nobody likes. Jimmy Dean goes and takes the ball and pumps it for a touchdown. Chase McLaughlin kick is good. Buccaneers 6-20 at the half. Chase McLaughlin field goal. Boom. Buccaneers 23-6. Tyrod Taylor short pass. And this is the part where we all kind of start to go, what the hell is going on? The fourth quarter was a disaster for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until they got that last game-winning drive. Tyrod Taylor, short pass middle, catch made by Garrett Wilson for an 11-yard touchdown. This was probably the biggest problem. It was a very vanilla defense that was being called. There was lack of blitzing. It was just sit back and see. It was sit back and see, and we saw Tyrod Taylor, Timmy Taylor, don't fucking matter. The boy was fucking slinging it. Whereas before, for the first fucking 3 quarters, he couldn't throw shit. All of a sudden, he looks like fucking Patrick Mahomes on steroids out there. That's unacceptable. And you knew that you could beat him because you were blitzing and sacking his ass. So you decide, I know what we'll do. We'll play vanilla defense. Fine. But the moment they hit the 50, you've got to play hard. You can't send out vanilla calls all day and expect it to be done. That zone defense is dog shit. It don't fucking work. You always work better with man. You always work better when you blitz. So when you're a man blitz or even some man zone, mix it up. I'm cool with that. But that was disgusting. Buccaneers get the field goal. 50-yard field goal from Chase McLaughlin puts the Buccaneers 13-26. Now we're in a position where we can breathe a little bit. The stress levels are coming down a little bit. Oh no! Tyrod Taylor short pass made complete for Lazard, 4-yard touchdown. Replay official says that the catch was good. I disagree. That ball was bobbling. He was holding it to his fucking. He was holding that ball to his fucking shin as he was going down. There's no way it should have been a touchdown. Totally disagree, but it happens. And the worst part is it was video ref. That's the problem. I can understand if it's a live call. I can get away with people. I can get my head wrapped around people making mistakes. Chase McLaughlin field goal is blocked and taken for a fucking touchdown. That is the heartbreaker of the game. Nick Folk extra point is good. It's 27-26. Buccaneers rally and fight all the way down the field. There's a catch, I believe, that is ruled incomplete that you can clearly see. The ball's in his hands, 1 foot, knee down, and knee out of bounds. Disgusting video refereeing, in my opinion. Disgusting. But it doesn't matter. It leads to other things, and that puts the Buccaneers in prime position. Kicks the field goal, which I was kind of hoping they wouldn't. I was hoping they were going to take the walk-off touchdown and get the fuck out of Dodge. But instead, they decided to trust Chase McLaughlin, who delivers a 29-27 victory for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go the breakdown of the points. In the first quarter, both teams are square with 3 points apiece. In the second quarter, the Buccaneers did most of their damage. Now, let's be honest. 6 of 7 of those points came from a Jamal Dean touchdown. That wouldn't normally isn't an unexpected thing. So realistically, this Buccaneers team was actually 13-6. If you take away that silly fucking play, right? That means the Buccaneers had work to do. I'm convinced that they took the foot off the gas. The coaches took the foot off the gas and thought they were going to cruise to victory. Bowles, if you're watching this, never take your foot off the gas. Then they go to 4th down. And they have to make a play. You got a choice. Do you kick the points? Or do you end the game and run the ball or pass the ball? They opted to kick it. And that'll be a decision that'll be split down the middle because hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. And we all can sit there going, well, I would have ran the ball. I would have done this and I would have done that. You don't know because you're not in that situation. You've never been in that situation. I'd like to see your comment before when the ball was placed and it was called 4th down. You're saying go for it. Fair enough. If you don't get it, you've got to defend. But someone will turn around to me and go, yeah, but if that's better than having a muffed field goal. You don't know you're going to get a muffed field goal. You don't know none of that. Field goal should be give me automatic points. They certainly shouldn't get fucking returned for touchdowns. And that's my point. Bowles made his decision. I don't have a problem with that one. What I didn't like was his play calling on the last 2 drives for the Jets. They were dog shit. It turned into a touchdown. That should never have happened. They should have put Tyrod Taylor under duress like he did pretty much for 3 fucking quarters. For 3 quarters, he held him to 6. In 1 quarter, he coughed up almost 21 points. Okay, so we go into the second quarter. Buccaneers did most of their damage. 17-3. Go into the third quarter. The Buccaneers win the third quarter. 3-0. But in the fourth quarter, 21 points to 6. That's not good enough. This defense should not be giving up 21 points in 1 fucking quarter. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. So let's go and talk about how the Buccaneers fared player stats. Baker Mayfield has a decent day, goes 19-29, 233 yards and a touchdown. Bucky Irvin, 25 carries, 66, 2.6 a carry. They did really well. Their run defense is really, really good. Have to give them a lot of respect for their run defense. They've done a good job there. Baker Mayfield, 4 for 44, 11 yards a carry. Rashad White, 5 for 12, 2.4 yards a carry. So they were really effective at stopping the actual run game, not the ad-lib run game. Receiving, Emeka Egbuka, 6 for 85. No touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 4 for 80. Really becoming this trustworthy dude that we have on offense, which is why I was always glad that he returned. One of the guys I really did want to return. I love the connection between him and Baker. Mike Evans goes off with a cramp. A hamstring issue. Hopefully that is really easy to sort out. This is something that's plagued him throughout his career. It makes him miss a game, and it can make it. He might have he won't. I don't think he'll have extended time off, but it'll mean he's probably questionable for a good portion of this season. It's just unfortunate it happened at the beginning of the season. But expect Mike Evans to be back as usual. We've got no problems. This is why we picked Emeka Egbuka. This is, and hopefully we're going to get a nice little dose of Chris Godwin back and a nice little dose of Christian Wirfs. Carrying on, Bucky Irvin, 4 for 33. Mike Evans gets himself a touchdown. Rachaad White, 1 for 2. He's not been as effective. Zion McCullum, we'll talk about the defense now. Zion McCullum, 9 tackles, 0 assists. Levante David, 7 for 4 and a sack. Tyke Smith, 4 for 3, no sacks. Jacob Parrish, 4 for 1, a sack. Yaya Diaby, 2 for 2, a sack. Antoine Winfield, 2 for 1, a sack and the fumble. Savasi Dennis, who looked a little bit lost at times. We had a bit of an injury scare with Levante David when he went down, but he seems to be all right. So he went back out there and finished the game. That's always good. Hopefully, it doesn't mean too much craziness for him, and we won't be seeing him too much on the injury report. If not, he's just rested, because that's what I would do. Savasi Dennis, 2 for 1. Hassan Reddick, 2 for 1. He was really good at stopping the run on key downs. So those. Oh, he only got 2 tackles. The tackles that he did make were good. Anthony Nelson, 2 for 0, 2 for nothing. Benjamin Morrison, 2 for nothing. Chris Boswell, 1 for nothing. Jamal Dean, 1 and an interception for a touchdown. Deion Jones, 1 for nothing. Vita Vea, 0 for 2. Logan Hall, 0 for 1. And that is kind of where we're at with this. Punt returns, Cameron Johnson averaged minus 0.5 yards. Chase McLaughlin field goal percentage was 83% on the day, which was a lot of field goals. You know, you're going to bound to miss the one here and there, and it was muffed, so it's not really a him problem. I'd have to look at the play a little bit more and see what went wrong, but shouldn't really be allowing a guy to jump over the fucking top of you, over the top of the line, and then be able to go in there and muff the kick and then pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. That just should not happen. Riley Dixon averages 4.3. I'm a little bit worried about this guy in the sense of that his punting has not seemed to net too much. It always seems quite short, but I'll look into that versus the punters of the week and of the year so far, what they're averaging. So we'll see where he's at. I'd like a nice little mid-table number there. I like him to hit 16, maybe lower. That'd be nice. Anything lower than that, anything worse than that would not be good. Sean Tucker, 5 returns, 124 yards, an average of almost 25. So there you kind of have it. But then we look at the Jets, right? Think of how many of these bullshit yards that Tyrod Taylor had. He got 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 INT. He goes 26 for 36. Okay? But here's my problem. I can guarantee you probably 90 out of those yards came from those 2 drives. The rest of it is bullshit. And that's what's disappointing. In the rushing, Tyrod Taylor, 48, 8 carries for 48, which gave him 6 on the carry. B. Allen, he got himself 6 for 30, so he got 5 on a carry. Breece Hall, he got him 9 for 21, 2.3 a carry. Garrett Wilson ended up being the dude, and he got himself 84 for a touchdown. Tyler Johnson, 32 for the ex-Buccaneer Tyler Johnson. Bryce Hall, 4 for 31. Mason Taylor, 4 for 18. Braylon Allen, 2 for 17. And Alan Lazard, 2 for 13. And the touchdown to boot. This was ultimately the problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sacks. Buccaneers' offensive line did pretty well with what they'd had. I can see that they sacked the quarterback at least twice. That's showing up on here. I'll take that. The penalties at the beginning were less than enthusiastic, in my opinion, but it looked like the Buccaneers kind of calmed that down. Obviously, the penalties will look really bad because when you give up 7 penalties plus in your first drive, it's never going to look like a good day. It's never going to trend in the right direction. the fact that they had a lot less penalties throughout the rest of the game kind of boded about how good they were. So credit to the Buccaneers coaching staff for getting that offensive line settled down, calmed down, and was able to make plays. So yeah, when we talk about what we could do better, we have to stay aggressive. I can understand being a little bit soft in that first touchdown, but once that first touchdown it goes in, you got to have like no fucking more now, guys. This is it. I'm putting the pedal to the metal. I'm gonna fucking kick these guys' ass, or at least once they cross the 50, you go, okay, now we got to close shop. Now we got to close shop. We'll hold to a field goal, whatever. Close shop and do that. You can't let them have 2 fucking touchdowns. It's unacceptable. And the book and Coach Bowles, I hold you responsible for that because it's your play calling. Because you called a fucking masterclass for 3 quarters. A masterclass for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden you shit the bed? Dude, all you had to do was keep doing what you were doing. Why did you change up what you were doing? Because it was working. There was nothing that they were doing that was so great. You just stopped fucking blitzing. You stopped mixing your stunts and your blitzes together. And we could see it. You played cushion coverage. You played soft zone. And Tyrod Taylor all of a sudden became a fucking MVP for a second and went, fuck it, I'll go and get what I can get. You're very lucky that you got Baker Mayfield, who put the team on his back yet again for another fucking drive, drilled the ball down the field and said, fuck you all, I'm scoring, gets the fucking go-ahead fucking field goal and wins the game for you. You can't keep coaching like this. The defense in the last 2 weeks has been great. I'm not going to ever complain because ultimately you've kept teams out of 21 points for the most part, right? And we'll talk about this. But this Jets game should have been a 26-6 game. Finished. Or even a 29-6 game. It should have been finished at that point. You should not have allowed it to get any worse than that. And that's totally on you. You've got to fix your own play call in this. Not bad with the main game decisions that were made. I'm okay with those. I felt that this refs kind of screwed us a little bit, especially in the video replays. I don't think that one was a catch. I think catching the ball in it, bobbling around and touching the floor, and you had to hold it against your shin should not fucking count as a fucking catch ever in the National Football League. And then the fact that one of our guys catches the ball, and as the ball's in his hands, you can see one foot down and the other foot is dragging at that same point as he's holding the ball in 2 fucking hands. That's a fucking catch. I do not know how you can not overturn that shit. It's just bullshit. But it is what it is. The Buccaneers survive, and now we go up against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is me and my emotions. I'm enjoying the win, and you've got to enjoy the win, guys. So make sure you have your donuts. Make sure you do whatever you do to celebrate your wins because it's a very short season. Enjoy them while they're here. The Buccaneers will now have to play probably what everyone's considering the best team in the NFL right now. Okay? Hopefully, Chris Godwin comes back. Christian Wirth comes back. And then Mike Evans is coming back. When you have that, this Buccaneers team may look very, very different. But on that note, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know these ones are a bit short, but at the same time, there's not a lot more to talk about. I mean, we could talk a little bit more about what's happening in week 3. Vikings pumped the Bengals. No surprise there. Really surprised that the Jags beat the Texans. And this is what I was talking about, alluding to. Buccaneers have now beaten shit teams, not good teams, because no one they've beaten has got a winning fucking record. No one they've beaten has got a winning record. So Jets are perennial losers. Texans, I don't think, have a win. I'm not sure the Texans have a win. And the Falcons have 2 losses. So not one team has a winning record that we've beaten. No, it's early days. Their seasons could change dramatically. Colts beating the Colts beating the Titans, no surprise. Commanders beating the Raiders was a surprise to me. I didn't think it was going to be like that. I thought the Raiders would take advantage of the fact that they don't have their starting quarterback. But it turned out that the Raiders got their asses whooped. I was hoping that the Rams would pull the big one and beat the Eagles, but the Eagles held firm. And well done to the elite quarterback that is Jalen Hurts for throwing his first touchdown of the 2025 NFL season. It took you to week 3, but hey, you're elite. 33-26. We will go and meet them and just see how good he is. And then the Panthers, Dave Canales Panthers, do the thing and absolutely embarrass the Falcons. Crazy scenes. I did not see that one coming. I wanted it to happen, but I thought the Falcons would probably win it. Steelers beats Patriots. I think this is probably the only one I'm actually right on at the moment. No, I got 3 right. Browns beat the Packers. Didn't see that one coming. That was impressive by the Browns. Good for them. Got to remember, there's trap games everywhere. And then obviously the Buccaneers do their thing. I had the Buccaneers winning 23-10. Was it 23-10? 23. I had them 23-10. And it ended up not. It ended up almost kind of going in my favor. I thought we might get them at 23-9, but no. Coach Bowles decided that he was going to let them score a few touchdowns just to make it fucking interesting. Stop that shit. And right now, the Chargers are 10 to 7 against the Broncos. The Seahawks are doing the thing that we need. 38-3 against the no good Dirty Aints. So the Buccaneers now have a 2-win cushion going in. The Dallas Cowboys are down against the Bears 17-14. And the San Francisco 49ers are up by 3 points, 6-3 against the Cardinals. That's it from me, guys. Enjoy your week. Get ready for the next week. And remember, guys, take this into account. We should have some guys coming back from injury. It was a short week. We played Monday night. We're now playing Sunday. We now have a full 7-day period to get our heads right, get ourselves ready for a big motherfucking game. Now, this is a game I'm not too stressed about. I don't care if we lose it. I don't care. I hope we win it, but I don't care if we lose it because I believe if it's a loss, we'll only be galvanized by this and it will push us to the next one. So let's just have a little look about the Buccaneers run in the future and what's going to happen for them. Buccaneers go up against the Eagles. Then we go up against the Seahawks. Those are 2 really difficult games. The Niners, I'm not too worried about right now. The Lions, I'm not too worried about. Saints, I'm not too worried about. The Patriots, I'm not too worried about. The Bills always will pose a problem. The Rams will pose a problem. The Cardinals don't really scare me. The Saints still don't scare me. The Falcons don't scare me. The only teams that really kind of stress me out is this middle period. And this is where Bowles tends to go wrong. I would like us to come out of the next, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, next 10 games. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8. The next 8 games. If we can come out of this with more wins than losses, and I'm talking like even if we go 5-3, and we lose, say, to the Eagles, the Rams, and the Bills, I can live with that. It just means that we might not have a deep playoff run as we'd like because we're losing to teams that are going to be playoff teams. But ultimately, we need to come out of that side because after that, you've got 6 games that are you could just go on an undefeated streak. And the Buccaneers putting together a winning season with only 3 losses is exactly what would be amazing. But that's how we got to look. We got to get through this. We got to get through this stretch. There's going to be some tough games, as I said. Eagles, Seahawks, Lions, Bills, and Rams. They're and potentially the 49ers are probably the tougher teams. I'm not too worried about the Niners. Not too worried about the Lions as much. But Eagles, Seahawks, and Rams and Bills, they're the ones that can be the potential banana skins. But even if we split that, we then go into a 6-game series where we could easily come out and win every single one of them, except for maybe the last one because we might rest people, depending on where we are in seeding. That's ultimately it, guys. I will see you on the aftermath. It'll either be tomorrow or it will be Tuesday, and I will see you then. And I'll come down off my euphoria or high of just winning a game and being negative about some things and being overly positive about others. And I really sit there and let this bed in and think about it a bit more and be a bit more analytical about it, a little bit more pensive about it. But ultimately, the Buccaneers win. Fuck everybody else. Fuck the NFC South. We own it, and we're going to keep owning it. We're going to keep winning. Bucs on me. Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!